with the main stories. New channels of cooperation between India and Nepal. India hails Nepal's political achievements, issues a 12-point joint declaration. India agrees to ensure Nepal's access to sea via waterway. Detailed study of the viability of Kathmandu-Raksol electric railway to be carried out. Brazil's former president Lula da Silva surrenders to police to begin serving a 12-year sentence for corruption. Scenario leaves presidential race wide open. And Team Chauraha Dhankari and Mahendranagar United progress to the playoff round of DPL. Chauraha secures a thrilling victory over Rupandehi. Let's begin with the latest national political updates. The governments of Nepal and India have issued a 12-point joint statement prioritizing cooperation for economic prosperity, keeping aside all political misunderstandings. Both the sides didn't hold any open discussion on political aspects but focused on the economic agenda and development during Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's state visit to India. The joint statement as well hasn't spoken about Nepal's internal political matter. In a joint press conference held yesterday, the Prime Ministers of both the countries pledged to work together aimed at prosperity of both the nations. Likewise, the duo have agreed on ensuring Nepal's access to sea via waterway, expansion of Raksol-Kathmandu electric railway and cooperation in agriculture development. The preliminary survey of the railway would be concluded within a year. Both sides have also agreed to come up with its detailed project report at the earliest. This was the second time Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli participated in a joint press meet with his Indian counterpart in the capacity of Prime Minister. Premier Oli had earlier visited India on the backdrop of the border blockade imposed by southern neighbor who were trying to show dissatisfaction towards Nepal's constitution. A joint press statement could not be released then as the visit was made amid soured bilateral relations. However, this time around, both the Prime Ministers have stressed on the need of improved bilateral relations through a joint press statement.
Nepal has now embarked on the journey of social economic development with the motto, Prosperous Nepal, Happy Nepalis. I have come to India this time with a mission to explore ways and means to enhance our relations to newer heights, commensurate with the realities of the 21st century.
Meanwhile, Indian Premier Modi congratulated Prime Minister Oli for Nepal's advancement towards political stability via successful holding of all three levels of election. In response, Premier Oli requested the Indian government to help Nepal in its journey towards development and economic prosperity.
Nepal wanted to have more investment from India's public and private sector. Both of us underlined that the early realization of the ongoing mega projects like Pancheshwar, Arun III and Upper Karnali would generate the much desirable impetus and positive precedents for future such projects.
Meanwhile, both the sides also agreed to expedite works on Pancheshwar, Upper Karnali and Arun III hydropower projects. Both the Prime Ministers have also agreed to contain the abuse of porous border and move ahead by considering the security sensitiveness of Nepal
कल और
and India.
आज की हमारी मुलाकातों में प्रधानमंत्री ओली जी ने नेपाल के तीव्र आर्थिक विकास और खुशहाल एवं समावेशी समाज के निर्माण के लिए अपने बोल्ड विजन के बारे में मुझे विस्तार से जानकारी दी है। हमेशा की तरह यह सहयोग भविष्य में भी नेपाल सरकार द्वारा निर्धारित प्राथमिकताओं और आवश्यकताओं के आधार पर होगा।
On the need of continuation of engagements at the highest level, I renewed the invitation to the Prime Minister Modi ji to pay a visit to Nepal at the earliest convenient time.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Oli requested Indian Prime Minister Modi to visit Nepal at any convenient time. The Nepal-India Integrated Checkpost ICP in Birganj has come into operation from today after 14 years since the agreement was struck between the governments of Nepal and India. The ICP will comprise a quarantine zone along with several other concerned offices under the same roof, which is expected to further facilitate bilateral trade and decrease trade deficit. Officials and citizens of both countries were glued to their television screen when the two prime ministers jointly inaugurated the integrated checkpost yesterday. In the meantime, priests performed their rituals at the Birganj integrated checkpost. Fully decorated freight vehicles ready to be exported to India were also on standby position for the inauguration. The ICP was constructed with a 2 billion rupees investment from the Indian government. Upon completion, it was handed over to the Nepal Chamber of Commerce and Intermodal Transport Development Committee under the Ministry of Supplies on the 25th of March this year. Traders have been delighted with the operation of the ICP. The well-equipped ICP extends in around 110 bigha area of land, and its construction and operation is believed to facilitate the custom check, ease Nepal's trade with India and any other third country, and reduce trade deficit. We'll take a short break here. For more news, stay with us. Welcome back. And now we'll go for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Today's question: do you think the agreement forged between Nepal and India will be implemented? Your options are A, absolutely, B, maybe, and C, not at all. The voting for the question is on. You can type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 8080 to share your opinions with us. And in the Public Voice segment, we had asked the citizens of Birganj what facilities do they think could be expected in terms of the bilateral trade after implementation of integrated checkpost. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
यो हाम्रो लागि धेरै नै पोजिटिभ साइन र स्टर्निङ अवसर छ।
लागत पनि घटाउँछ यसले त भोलिका दिनमा चाहिँ जुन एउटा हामीले जुन दुःख पाइरहेका थियौं अहिले सम्मका जामको समस्याहरूको बाटोको समस्याहरूको लागि त्यो सबै कम हुन्छ।
व्यापारको सहजीकरण हुन्छ, सजिलो हुन्छ, यसले गर्दा समय पनि घटाउँछ र लागत पनि घटाउँछ।
व्यापारमा हुने अनियमितताका कुराहरू र व्यापारमा हुने दुर्व्यवस्थाका कुराहरू सबैले व्यवस्थापन गर्दै यसले एउटा पद्धति भित्र ल्याउँछ।
जाम हट्ने भयो, लागत खर्च कम हुने भयो,
धेरै इकोनोमिक फाइदा हुन्छ व्यापारीहरूलाई।
It's now time for the international update. Brazil's former president Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has surrendered to police to begin serving a 12-year sentence for corruption. It follows a 2-day standoff that saw him take refuge in a steelworkers union building after missing a court deadline to hand himself in. The 72-year-old walked out of the office in his hometown and was taken away by police cars. Scores of supporters had earlier blocked his car from leaving the scene. Lula had said he would comply with the arrest warrant against him, but insisted he was innocent. He will now be taken by police to a cell in the southern city of Curitiba. Lula was the front-runner for October's presidential election, but his jailing leaves the race wide open. The charges against Lula came from an anti-corruption investigation known as Operation Car Wash, which has embroiled top politicians from several parties. He was convicted of receiving a renovated beachfront apartment worth some $1.1 million as a bribe from engineering firm OAS. Now, rescuers in Syria say at least 150 people have died after toxic gas was dropped on Douma, the last rebel-held town in eastern Ghouta. Volunteer Rescue Force, the White Helmets, tweeted graphic images showing scores of bodies in a basement. It said the death toll is likely to rise. There has been no independent verification of the reports. Syria's government has called the allegations of a chemical attack a fabrication. The U.S. State Department said it is monitoring the reports and that Russia, which is fighting alongside the Syrian government, should be held responsible if deadly chemicals had been used. The pro-opposition Ghouta Media Center tweeted that more than 1,000 people had suffered the effects of the alleged gas attack. It blamed a barrel bomb allegedly dropped by a helicopter, which it said contained sarin, a toxic nerve agent. Douma is the last rebel-held town in Syria's eastern Ghouta region. We have more news coming up, but right now we'll take yet another short break. Nepal and India have agreed to develop waterway between the two nations. An agreement has been forged between Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi to ensure Nepal's access to sea via waterway. As per the two-point waterway agreement, Nepal will now have cargo facility to the port via waterway based on the existing transportation treaty. As per the agreement, provisions would be added in the Trans-Border Transportation Treaty in order to increase utilization of the waterway. The agreement has paved way for Nepal to undergo transportation via Koshi, Karnali and Gandaki rivers. According to experts, the treaty will usher in huge changes in Nepal's utilization of water resources. And it's now time for the sports update.
Sports news.
Team Chauraha Dhankari and Mahendranagar United have entered the playoff round of the ongoing Dhankari Premier League. Team Chauraha secured a thrilling 3-run victory over Rupandehi Challengers in yesterday's match. In a rain-shortened match, Chauraha sent into bat first, scored 76 runs in 8 overs for the loss of 7 wickets. Man of the match Sonu Tamang struck 34 runs off 13 balls to make it a competitive total. Rupandehi's Susan Bhari took 3 wickets, Dipesh Shrestha grabbed 2, while Sagar Pun and Shakti Gauchand shared a wicket each. In reply, Rupandehi was restricted to 73 runs in 8 overs, losing 5 wickets. Sagar Pun was the top scorer for Rupandehi with an explosive 33 runs. However, their chase fell short by 3 runs to hand Team Chauraha a place in the qualifiers. Meanwhile, the first match between Mahendranagar and CYC Atharya was called off due to wet outfield. The two teams shared a point each as Mahendranagar qualified for the playoffs. Likewise, CYC Atharya hopes of entering the playoff remains alive as they take on Biratnagar Kings in the second match of the day. And now, before we wrap up, here's a look at the top stories one more time. New channels of cooperation open between Nepal and India. India hails Nepal's political achievements, issue a 12-point joint agreement. India agrees to ensure Nepal's access to sea via waterway. Detailed study of viability of Kathmandu-Raxaul electric railway to be carried out. Brazil's former president Lula da Silva surrenders to police to begin serving a 12-year sentence for corruption. Scenario leaves presidential race wide open. And Team Chauraha Dhankari and Mahendranagar United progress to the playoff round of DPL. Chauraha secures a thrilling victory over Rupandehi. That's all for the moment. Our next English bulletin will air at 11 a.m. Stay with us for more news and entertainment on KTV HD. Have a great day.